This is a review of the Sunnytech hot air Stirling engine. This is a twin flywheel design. It's an education toy to show students how to generate power by using a hot gas, which in this case is air and not steam. This is the model S101. The engine comes completely assembled. There is a bottle with a wick and a cap that you have to pull the wick through. Just poke it through with one of these very small Allen wrenches. The fuel here I'm using is a 95% denatured alcohol. You can see it right here. And I bought this because it's a very clean burning fuel, very, very hot. The hotter the flame, the faster the engine will run. Here you can see there are a couple of glass cylinders. One is a piston chamber. The other one is a heating cylinder where you heat the air. As the air heats, it pushes back this push rod. The flame, which is right here, will go under here and heat this chamber, push it back, and once you heat it for a few seconds, I would say about 45-50 seconds, you simply give it a spin and it'll start running automatically. It comes with replacement caps here, a glass cylinder here, and a glass cylinder here. These are easily broken, so please make sure not to bump them. In addition, you'll find a set of Allen wrenches that you can use to take the unit apart with, and you'll find a bottle that you can fill with the denatured alcohol, which makes it much faster to fill this reservoir. And then here you'll find an extra gasket and some pins and tubing that's used in this replacement process. This is an excellent example of how ingenuity created a small engine that runs on a flame and uses air to create the pressure to move the engine. It's an ideal teaching tool for schools and colleges, and it's a great conversational piece for your desk. It's a fully working hot air engine. It's professionally made using aluminum, steel, brass, and glass, in this case with a very nice finished wood base. It would look good on your desk at work or at home or on a table or on a bookshelf. It's a great gift for the mechanical geek or engineer in your family or a friend. The unit came nicely packaged and boxed together. Nothing was broken when I received it. I particularly like these units because the cylinders here are glass, so you can actually see the pistons going back and forth. It's part of the excitement of seeing this run is how fast it runs and seeing the motion inside of these cylinders. If this was made out of metal, it would still work, but you wouldn't see the piston move, and it's part of the entertainment factor. This is a fast motion engine, and it will operate between 1,300 and 1,500 RPM. The hot air pushes this piston back, turning the flywheel, while this other one pulls in cool air. When it moves in, it pushes cool air, which comes up in here to start the next cycle. The engine was invented in 1815 by Robert Stirling, who was a London pastor. It was named after him for that reason. It's a dual-cylinder engine and a cool compression chamber, so here's the heat and the cold side. There's a connection between here that passes the cool air to replenish the cycle. This is what is called an alpha design of the engine. It uses a dual cylinder. It's a great example to show how simple air can be used to create an engine of motion. In essence, you can actually attach this to a rotating generator and generate electricity. When you want to stop the engine, you simply blow out the flame, and after this cylinder cools, it'll stop moving. Please make sure you don't touch the glass here because it will be very hot, and make sure you don't spill the fuel. This 95% denatured alcohol is highly flammable. You should be extra cautious because this flame actually burns so well that there's no soot or fumes, and the flame is almost invisible. Here on the bottom you can see some rubber feet. That's because when this thing is moving, it's operating very quickly, and it can vibrate and tend to walk. I like this model particularly because it has a metal clamp to hold the fuel bottle in place so someone won't knock it over. Here you can see that the bottle fits into a small recess and it's held in place by this metal spring. That way it's mounted to the base and not as easy to spill. Here I'm going to start this by lighting the unit. You can see it running now. It's got a flame going. And after about 45 seconds, I'll give it a spin and see if it starts. Here you see I've turned the lights off so you can see the flame. I'm going to give this a spin. And you can see it starts running, and it's running so fast now you can't even see it working. This thing is really starting to hum. It's working really fast. I want to show you how this is sliding on the table, even though it has rubber feet. That's why you should be only done and demonstrated under supervision and not with children playing with it. See, I've blown out the flame, and it's going to continue to run for about a minute, and that's because there's residual heat in this cylinder. That's why you're not supposed to touch it. This thing is really interesting to watch and see it operate. It's simply amazing at how quickly this thing will run. It's interesting, and children and students are fascinated by it. This is an excellent device. The engineering on it is excellent. I like it quite a bit. I rate this as a 5-star item. I was impressed with the functionality and the quality of the product. I'd like you to know that I was supplied as a sample for test and evaluation. A review is not promised in exchange for a sample, but I stated that if a review was given, it would be fair and honest. This review was done by JJ CEO.